LISFA orchestra violin sections. The students rehearsed with their respective orchestras for 10 hours and then performed at the concert on January 12th. So congratulations to them for their hard work. Also, want to recognize the Science Olympiad team. The team competed against 63 teams on Saturday, January 25th. This happened actually to take place in Hauppauge. We hosted, which we've done now for the last couple of years. That's Mr. Peter Sack and Ms. Becker who lead that. The students earned 11 medals in total for Hauppauge, and Tanner Klass and Spanik Shahu scored first place in the category electric vehicle. Patrick Terzella and Arav Bosley scored second place in the category helicopter. And then lastly, the high school curriculum fair. This is a new pursuit. This was held for the first time on Monday. Happened to be there with members of cabinet. It was tremendous. Students had a chance to visit the different department tables ran by directors and teachers representing all the different departments, and it allows them to be more informed, our students, to make their curriculum choices for the next school year. There was a go-kart there, there was displays from the tech ed department, there was math riddles, there was basketball, there was students playing instruments. It was tremendous, a ton of buzz. So great job all around at the high school. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you, Dr. Murphy. 5C on the agenda is adoption of minutes from the business meeting of January 14th, 2025. I'll make the motion. Mr. Scrito seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? 601. Mr. Kiley abstaining. Number 6 is questions and comments on tonight's agenda only. Do any members have any items that they'd like to have removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the consent agenda. I'll make the motion. Mr. Scrito seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. Number 9 are our committee reports. The audit committee, Ms. Collins, did the audit committee meet and elect a permanent chair for this year?
Yes.
And who is that? Congratulations. I ask that the district clerk make that notation in the minutes. And Mr. Michaels, did the ad hoc regionalization committee meet to elect a permanent chair for this year?
Yes, we do.
And who is that? Congratulations to you. I ask that the district clerk kindly make the note in the, make a notation in the minutes. 10 discussion matters are on. 11 new business. Do any board members other than Mr. Scrito have new business? Mr. Scrito?
Yes. I have 3 things, Mr. O'Shea. So Governor Hauppauge passed a thing, I believe, about a free lunch and a free breakfast, Dr. Murphy. Does that go into effect? Does that mean every student gets it? Does it mean you have to qualify?
Ms. Sienna is going to hop on to explain that.
So it would expand to every student, but we don't have that as gospel yet. So we're hoping that by the time that the budget is enacted in April, we'll know more specifics. But yes, it would reach every student.
So would that be an unfunded mandate, or Mrs. Hauppauge is going to give us the money? And if not, I believe we have reserved it as well for that.
Yes, it wouldn't hit us. It wouldn't hit the general fund. It would live in school lunch fund, but it would help us to not have such a surplus and not carry as much over a 3-year period. Yes.
And then, Mrs. Sanders, also on the thing with Governor Hauppauge, I believe we're going to be short $344,000, if I read it correctly.
Yes. So what Newsday reports and what the state comes out with is just a snapshot in time from November 15th. So what the district does, what the district submits between now and December 31st, well, or I'm talking like from November time to December time,
Sure.
is a little bit different than what the state is giving. So the difference between what we know to be actual in building aid and backing out universal pre-K, because that's a different funding source, the difference is only 7,000 less in aid, not the 344. So there's 2 workings. Foundation aid is the largest source of state aid. That we saw an increase of about 600,000, but everything else is expenditure driven. So those we saw a decrease for now because of that snapshot in time through November. The next time the enacted budget comes out, that will be more of a change in a positive direction, we believe. and that would show anything through February and a little bit thereafter, so.
So nothing in cash, but.
No, no,
Seemed like a lot of money.
no, I'm nice and calm, yes.
And then Dr. Murphy, last thing, I also believe Governor Hochul was talking about dropping the Regents exams. Is there any reason that Hauppauge, if they decide to do that we have to follow suit? I mean, I like to raise the standards instead of lowering the standards.
So before we get to that, just one note about something Ms. Sienna said. I just want to spotlight. The news for Hauppauge is actually pretty good compared to other districts. What we tend to zero in on, superintendents and business officials, is that foundation aid piece.
Right.
Many districts are save harmless, where they're just getting 2%, which for some of them, they were happy about that because of what happened last budget cycle, where we were north of 4.5%. So to Ms. Sienna's point, the other parts of the aid package, which are based upon expenditures, will fluctuate based on how much you spend the prior year. So that tells a pretty good story. As for the Regents results, so that's all a byproduct of the Blue Ribbon Commission, and there's a schedule, a timeline of the implications of that we're working on. Dr. McCarthy has actually created a timeline of the implications for Hauppauge and how we prepare. But how students are going to prove their understanding of content absent a Regents exam is still being defined. So we will update the board as we learn what that looks like.
And I appreciate this stuff on the funding. I thought it was odd that Comac got a raise, so it's obviously not built on the Wills district. Comac got a raise, Kings Park got a decrease, Smithtown got a decrease, Hauppauge got a decrease. It was just interesting. Certain schools got.
Yeah, well, and again, though, if you look at those slivers,
Yeah.
the part that, again, my eyes grew first is what happened with foundation aid. There's a lot of jealousy of the amount we got compared to other districts who were at a flat 2%. The Rockefeller Institute had sent out this huge report with recommendations about foundation aid formula, and that's still, basically the governor has punted to next year making any major changes. So there's some relief in the air, so to speak. And again, this is before the final budget when the rest of the politicians up there will, they normally tweak it, normally in our favor. So we're holding out hope that happens as well. So there's a bit of an exhale, at least for this year. It's kind of put off another year to see what will the formula look like in future years.
Thank you, Dr.
Sure.
Thank you. Any further new business from the board? Any new business from administration?
No.
Questions and comments from the community concerning anything related to the district whatsoever?
Hopper also wanted to put a ban on cell phones. Is that you can't have it in the school at all, or it has to be in a locker?
Yeah, so
Classroom?
So the guidance that there's some headlines on this. One of them is it has to be locked away during the day, but with carve-outs for different purposes. Locked away, some districts have proactively purchased things like pouches. In Smithtown, that's something that they've done, and there's been some deliberation on spending money on things like that, because you could also potentially use a locker. There's monies apparently in the budget, I think it's about $13 million for districts to use in rolling out some of this, but that's kind of undefined. Here in Hauppauge, I'm co-chairing a cell phone committee with Ms. Zamek, who's a teacher. Mr. Michaels will be joining us, teachers and others, to figure out what our best approach is. I will tell you that it is an issue, but we feel like we're in a good place. We have management at the classroom level. Many teachers have parking lots on the back of their doors, which students can go and put their phone in. Of course, I'm talking about at the high school level here. So we're positioned to handle this, but it's been a little vague, I'm not gonna lie, about where, the state's direction on this. We're still waiting on some.
parents aren't up in arms about that? Or
Say again?
parents don't like that idea, or?
No, I don't think that. I think that, again, we'll have parents on our committee. I think everyone recognizes that there's a pull here for all of us, right, myself included. And what's the best way to make sure that the instructional experience is the most impactful for our students, and any distraction, right, that takes them away from instruction. So what's that balance, right?
I know my mother didn't lose sleep because she could get a hold of me when I went to school.
Right, but I will tell you that, we're in a different world now where that expectation has changed some thinking.
Any
And you
further?
survived, you're here.
She knew the number of the school.
Right.
Any further questions or comments from the community concerning anything related to the district whatsoever? With that, I will take a motion for an adjournment. We completed our executive session business earlier, so therefore there will be no executive session. Our next meeting will be Tuesday, February 11th, 2025, which is also our board retreat day. I'll take a motion for an adjournment. I will make the motion. Mr. Scrito seconds. Any discussion? All those in favor? 7-0. We are adjourned. God bless Hauppauge and God bless America. Thank you.